Happy Monday, guys. This week, we go over the chopper and how it finished up. All right, guys, mock-up is almost complete. Well, I say mock-up, final assembly is almost complete. Waiting on a piece of fuel line. Had to push the riser forward because it was coming into contact with the tank. So I made this little plate. I haven't finished bolting it in yet. Just kind of test fitting it right now, make sure it all works. And as quite often, and most of us do, here's my mess of a table, but first action was made the template out of cardboard, laid it out on a piece of steel, cut it out with the grinder, drilled all the holes, just test fitted it, and now I'm gonna pull it back off and just paint it black to match the triple tree. It's not perfect, but I think it'll do just fine, and it actually pushes the bars a little further forward. A little more orange peel in the tank and stuff than I wanted, but I was having some issues with my regulator, and the gun pressure was a little low, but I think it's turning out pretty cool. You see the skull patterns on the clutch cover and here on the tank. I'm gonna let it cure for a few days, and then I'll wet sand the piss out of it and see if that helps. And the front fender. And the pull start box is done, and the frame is the candy red. But overall, I think it's pretty damn slick. I can't wait to finish it up and take it for a ride around the block. All right, so here it is. One last thing is a piece of fuel line. I could start it up right now with the fuel line that I have, but I want a shut-off valve in it. I'm also trying to execute patience. So I'm stoked. I think it turned out absolutely great, considering it started life as a $40 auction project. Got the big meaty tires on the back. The graphics on it turned out real good. Need to let it sit for a few days, and then I can wet sand it to get some of the orange peel out of it. Engine cover. Front fender turned out good. I dig the side cover. I think the side cover turned out real good too. I did a little more airbrushing on the side cover just to black out the middle of it and still have the graphics on the edges. Deep dish wheels. There's a 205 50 10. But no, everything worked out good. Got the rear discs and we got the parking brake. I dig it. All right, guys, not unlike with many projects, just when you think you're done, something lets you know you're not. So I had a little concern about the tab where I put the rear axle because I had to cut into it so much to clear the brake rotor and the sprocket. So I adjusted the chain, got it all set up, and the first time I rode it, it did bend a little bit, which loosened the chain up. So I'm gonna put a support structure on it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here now. So this rear tab is the complete plate, but as you can see, there's only about 2 or so inches on one side and maybe 2.5 on the other side. Well, the torque of the motor pulling directly up on the sprocket caused this tab to start raising, which I kind of had some suspicions of. So I'm going to put a hoop here that comes over the whole apparatus, and then I'll put 2 drop downs that weld into this tab to give me some support. All right, so that's it. Yes, we blew the budget, but we didn't blow it too terribly bad. I wanted to do this for under 500 bucks. And I would have been well under 500 bucks if we wouldn't have made the decision to go to the three-wheeler portion of it. The actual conversion over to a three-wheeler part for the rear axle was $130. The wheels, I got the pair of wheels for $125. And then the tires were a little spendy as well. I think they were like 80 bucks for the set. So, 40 bucks a piece. So just that rear conversion there, even though it pushed us over $500, it pushed us over a lot less than I thought. It actually pushed me up to about $728, I think is what the total was. And I think it turned out really, really well. Look forward to starting the next project. This one here is done. Still have to do a little bit of a shakedown on it. I've ridden it around the block once or twice, but I want to ride it a few more times, adjust the carb on it to get it completely finished before I put it up for sale and see what we can get out of it. But here's the next project we're going to do. Just another mini bike. I picked it up. I bought a lot of stuff from a guy. Not a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff from a guy that had this mini bike, another frame, a 196 cubic inch motor. That was, no, excuse me, 196 cc motor that had been torn all apart. And I got some wheels and stuff, and this guy has all the pieces for it. Some wheels, there's the box of motor parts for a second motor. The frame's back there in the corner by the toolbox. There's a brand new seat on it as well. So we're gonna do with this one is we're just gonna clean the frame all up. I'm gonna go ahead and put some extensions on the frame to move the tire back. We're gonna put a new set of tires on it, put some paint on it, and get rid of it. I got a couple extras. This red Coleman right here was one of the first ones we got for the boys, and I don't want to say upgraded, but Bass went from the Coleman to the Monster Moto 105. Which he likes a lot. It just sits a little differently. The handlebars are more adjustable. So we're gonna put this one here together, get it finished up, and we're gonna try to sell the Coleman and that one together. One of my friends has two sons, so I'll probably sell them to him. Sell them pretty cheap just to get his kids interested in it too. But hope you guys enjoyed it. I will put all of the videos for the mini chopper build into a playlist as well, and then next Monday we'll get started on the mini bike here. Did use the tubing bender when, as you saw earlier in the video, the rear tab where the axle's mounted was not quite as strong as I thought it was going to be. I thought the piece of plate was thick enough, but with the torque of the motor and everything else, it was actually causing that plate to flex forward. So I haven't painted it yet, but used the tubing bender and made just a hoop for the rear that welded to the back corners of the frame and then welded straight to the tab in the back with some supports so it can't flex anymore. I've ridden it around the block a few times and it seems to be really stable. Also made the frame itself this way more stable as well, because that tab where the axle's mounted was really the only thing that was holding that axle, so it would flex as well. So enjoyed it. It was a fun build. The dips turned out on it really well. The paint has a little more orange peel in it than I wanted, but it's because my regulator on my gun, the battery in it was dying and it kept dropping the pressure down too low, so it was causing the paint to kind of come out a little thicker than I wanted it to. But we'll remedy that with a new battery. We'll get ready to start the next build, and hopefully you come back again next week. Hope this kicked off your Monday. Hope you have a great week. Take care. Hope you guys have a great week.
Bring the funk back.